when we start with an equation, so if it has an equal to, we can multiply by anything we want if there's an equal to. So our goal is to just get rid of the fraction. Now I did tell you, you need to write down what x cannot be. What cannot be an answer for this?
0 and 3.
We have to set the top, or each denominator equal to 0, right? Does 3 ever equal 0? No, so I don't have to worry about that one. The other denominator is x minus 3. So 3 is the only thing that x cannot be. Does everybody understand how I got that part? You know how to find what x can't be. So then we try to get rid of the fractions. So showing your work is critical here. If you're struggling, it's most likely skipping steps that's getting you. If this denominator is 3, we have to multiply by 3. But if you do it to 1, you do it to everything on both sides of the equation. And so those 3's would cancel. Now this one has x minus 3, so I have to take everything times the x minus 3. And then those cancel. Is there anything else I need to multiply by? No. How will I know if there's something else I need to do? We'll still have a denominator. Once your denominators are gone, then you're just ready to solve. So what we have at this point is 3x minus 1 times the x minus 3. And minus 4x times 3. And over here, x times 3 is 3x times the x minus 3. So if I start distributing, we get 3x squared minus 9x minus 1x, so minus 10x plus 3 minus 12x equals 3x squared minus 9x. Have I lost anybody? It's a quadratic, which tells me to get it equal to 0, but what happens when you subtract over that 3x squared?
It
Cancels. Okay. So negative 10x, negative 12x, we need 22x plus 3 equals negative 9x. If I add over that 22x, divide, and x is 3 over 13. You always double check. X could not be 3, so is 3 over 13 okay? Yes. So that's my final answer. Is that one okay? Let's do another one. What should I do first here?
Take out an x.
Yeah, we need to factor our denominator first. So this one, we can't do anything. But over here, we could take out an x. So can you tell me what x cannot be in this problem?
0.
0 because of the x on the bottom,
And 2.
and 2. Everybody knows how to get those numbers that x cannot equal? So now it's an equation, so we can multiply by whatever we want. We want to get rid of the fractions. So the first one needs x minus 2. So if you do it to 1, you do it to everything on both sides of your equation. x minus 2's drop. But I still need to multiply by something. What else do we need?
X.
X. And if you do it to one, you do it to all. So we are left with 3x plus 2 times x. 1 times the x minus 2, and over here is just a negative 2. What happens now? We combine our like terms. We need to set it equal to 0. When I add over my 2 though, those cancel. So what do we do?
Take on X.
You could take out a 3x even. Either way, you'll get the right answer. So if we set both of those equal to 0, we get 0 and negative 1. Are both of those answers okay? No, we said at the beginning that x couldn't be 0, so negative 1 is our only answer here. Are we okay on those equations? Equations, we try to multiply to get rid of it. Inequalities, our strategy is different. We need to get a fraction on one side and 0 on the other. So let's say I gave you this one. Do I have to do anything special to start this problem?
No.
No, it's already set up, fraction on one side, 0 on the other, so where do we begin?
Find out what X can't be.
You should just do the top and bottom.
Top and bottom equal to 0.
You find out the if it's zero.
Equations.
So we get positive 1 and negative 2. Some of you like to plug in numbers. And if you do, you're putting them into this fraction right here. So negative 3 minus 1 is negative. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative. Negative divided by negative is positive. Put in a 0, negative over positive is negative. Put in 2, positive over positive is positive. Others like to graph it. And when you graph, you just look for above or below the axis. So we would do, make sure you have your parentheses, x minus 1 over x plus 2. So we can look, this graph starts above the axis, so positive, then it's below, so negative, and then positive. Then we have to decide which ones we want. Greater than means
Positive.
positives. Okay, equal to means brackets, but what cannot have a bracket here?
Negative 2.
Negative 2, because it gives us a 0 on the bottom. So negative 2 has to get a parenthesis, but the 1 can get a bracket. So you write your interval going left to right, so this one's coming from negative infinity, stopping at negative 2, union, picking up again at 1, and going to infinity.
Still not.
Equal to means bracket, but they can't both have it because when I look at this original, x can't be negative 2 because it gives a 0 on the bottom. So the negative 2 still gets parentheses, but the 1 will get a bracket. Other questions? One last problem. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay, so this is another inequality, which means I need 0 on one side and a fraction on the other. So start, if I want to move my 5, what do we have to do?
Subtract it.
That's like 5 over 1. In order to put these together, what do we have to have?
Same denominator.
Right, so I have to multiply by 1 minus x on top and bottom. So I have 4 over 1 minus x minus, I'm going to go ahead and make this a negative 5, so plus negative 5 plus 5x over my 1 minus x. Denominators match, so we can put them together. So we get 5x minus 1 over 1 minus x. So everybody with me there?
How did you get 5x minus 1?
So I combined positive 4 and negative 5. So that's a negative 1. And then plus the 5x, which is the same thing as 5x minus 1. Now we set top and bottom equal to 0. So if we solve, add over a 1, divide, so x is 1/5, positive 1. So you can plug in numbers. Between 1/5 and 1, you might have to do like a decimal, and that's fine if you want to plug those in. Or you can look at your graph. So we can see this graph starts below the axis, then it goes above, and then below. So it is negative, positive, negative. Below was negative. I was asking for greater than. Greater than means positives. There is no equal to, so everything gets a parenthesis. So it's just that one section. So it starts at 1/5 and ends at 1. Is that okay with everybody?